So we're still in book 6.1b, solving one-step equations. So let's look at question 5. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the equation at the equal sign to make the left side and the right side. And we want to say, can I simplify the left or the right side before I start to solve it? Now if I look at the left side, the 14 has an x and the 10 has an x, so we can put these together because they are like terms. So 14 minus 10 equals 4, so this is 4x. Can I simplify the right side? Well, this 16 doesn't have an x, so these are unlike terms, so I can't. Okay, so now I can't simplify anymore, so I'm going to start to solve. So when you start solving equations, it's easier if you always put the letters on one side, and we choose the left. The letters on the left. The letters on the left. Lam, lam, l. Okay. So the variables. So who you have to ask who's on the wrong side. Well, if I look at this 3x, there's a variable, there's a letter. So I need to move this term to the other side. So if I look at this, this is a positive 3x because there's nothing in front of the 3. So I always have to do opposite to move something. So if this is positive 3x, the opposite is negative 3x. And remember opposite, short, tall, black, white, man, woman. Positive 3x, negative 3x. Those are opposites. So if I subtract 3x from this side, you have to think of it as like a mizan, a scale. I also have to subtract 3x from the left side, on the other side of the equal sign. Because it's like a mizan, you have to keep it balanced, you have to keep it equal. Okay, so you take the 3x and you write it over here on the other side. So you're subtracting 3x from the right side and 3x from the left side. So here 3x minus 3x is 0. So on the right side that's gone, so I just have 16. On the left side, 4x minus 3x equals 1, so I have 1x. Oh, that's it, because the 1 can hide, so I'm finished. So x equals 16. I don't have to write that 1. Okay, let's do number 6. So cut it at the equal sign to make the left side and the right side. And we have to look at the left side and the right side. Can we make it more simple before we start to solve? Well, the 3, this has an x, x, x. So all of these are like terms. So I can put all of these together. So I just go 3 minus 5 plus 8 in my calculator. And how much is that? 6. So on this side, all of this simplifies to 6x. It becomes more simple. Now I put my equal sign. Can I put these together? This has an x, this does not have an x, so I can't put them together. So I'm going to write them out again. Now we want our letters on the left, the variables on the left. So which term is on the wrong side? So this is a term, and a term. Which one is on the wrong side? Who has to move? This one has an x. We want our letters on the left, so we want to move this 4 over. So here, there's nothing in front of the 4, so it means he's positive. So we have to do the opposite. So positive 4, negative 4. And I have to do the exact same to the other side. So I just did it to the right side, so now I have to do it to the left side. Minus 4x. So that's gone. So on my right side, this is gone because 4 minus 4 is 0, so I just have the 18. And then I have 6 minus 4, which equals 2. 6 minus 4 is 2, so this is 2x. Then I say, ooh, who's my best friend, 2 or 18? 2, because it's close to the x, so I have to get rid of that 2. So I use that fraction, same over same equals 1. That's how I get rid of the 2. So I'm going to make the fraction 2 over 2. Make the fraction, okay. That is equal to 1, so that's 1x. So see, I got rid of the 2. And 18 divided by 2 is 9. But remember, we don't have to write the 1, so I can just go x equals 9. Let's look at 7. So cut it in half to make the left side and the right side. Can I simplify the sides before I start to solve? If I look at this, this has an x, this has an x, so they can go together. They are like terms. So 2 plus 12 equals 14. So this is 14x. And can I simplify this side, the right side, before I start to solve? Yeah, because this has an x, this has an x. So 3 minus 5 equals negative 2. So this side is negative 2x. And then I say, who's on the wrong side? If we want our letters on the left, the variables on the left, who do we have to move? Well, this has a letter, this has a variable, so I need to move it to the other side. So this one's a negative 2, so the opposite is positive 2. Now don't just write positive 2, Lesem, you must write positive 2x. Positive 2x, don't forget the x. And then here, 2 minus 2 is 0. That's weird, but that's okay. Here, 14x plus 2x, 14 plus 2 equals 16. So 16x here. And then there's two different ways to finish this. You can say 16 times what is 0, and you have to think, 16 times what is 0? Ah, x equals 0, because 16 times 0 is 0. Or you can go, who's my best friend? Well, 16 is my best friend, so I have to get rid of the 16, so I do 16 over 16, because 16 over 16 is equal to 1. So there's a 1 there. So really I have 1x equals, well, if my cake is cut into 16 pieces, and my brothers in the middle of the night come and eat all the pieces of cake, I have no cake left. How much cake do I have? Nothing. They ate it all. Okay, but you don't have to write the 1. This becomes 1. That's why we write a 1. We can just write this. Okay. Let's look at the other side, the next page. Let's look at 13, because there's lots of 3's. So first we cut it at the equal sign to make the left side and the right side. Can we simplify it? Can we simplify the left side or the right side before we start to solve? Maybe the left, because look, there's 3 terms here. 1, 2, 3. These two have x's, so I'm going to put these together because they're like terms. So 3 plus 3 equals 6, so this is 6x plus 3 equals, we can't do anything with that. Okay, so now we want our letters on the left. So this one's on the wrong side. So let's move him over. He's a positive 3, so we're going to do negative 3 to get rid of him. But now when I put the negative 3 on the left, there's 2 different terms. We have to go, who do we put this 3x with? Do we put it with the 6x or do we put it the 3? Well, because it has an x, I have to put it with the one that's x, because they're like terms. So I have to go minus 3x with the 6x. Don't put it with the 3 because they can't go together, because this does not have an x. They are not like terms. These are like terms. So here I have 3 minus 3, that's 0. So I'm going to put a big 0 on the right side. And here I have 6 minus 3, which equals 3. So this is 3x plus 3. Now we say, who's on the wrong side? If we only want letters on the left, okay, look at this. This is like the close friend, and this is like the neighbor. This one is on the wrong side, so we have to move it. How do we move it? How do we move the neighbor? Yeah, this is plus 3, so I'm going to do the opposite. Minus 3 from both sides. 3 minus 3 is 0, so this is gone. I'm only left with 3x on the left side. 0 minus 3, minus 3. Now I have to say, who's my best friend? Always the one that's touching the variable, the letter. So I'm going to do divide by 3, because it has to be same to make it 1. And I have to do the same to the other side, so I'm left with 1x equals, And if I put this in my calculator, it's -1. But remember, 3 over 3 is 1, but we don't have to write the 1x, so we can just erase it. Okay, let's look at 14, because there's like lots of stuff on this. Cut it at the equal sign to make the left and the right. Can we simplify the left side and the right side before we start to solve? This is 6x, 8x. They both have x's, so they are like terms, so I can put them together. 6 plus 8 equals 14. So this is 14x. Ooh, these both have x's as well. So these are like terms. So 3 plus 5 equals 8. So this is 8x. And now it's more simple. It's easier to look at. Now I have to say I want my letters on the left. So who's on the wrong side? This guy's on the wrong side because he has a letter. He needs to go over here. So if he's a positive 8, then I have to do the opposite, which is -8. Now where do I put the other 8 on the left? I could put it on the 14 or the 36. But I'm always going to put it on the one that has this, it looks the same. So if it has an x, I'm going to put it with the one with the x. If there's no x, I put it with the one with no x. But this one has an x, so I have to put it here with the 14 because they are like terms. And like terms, we can add and subtract. So here, 8 minus 8 is 0. So on the right side, I have 0. 14 minus 8. How much is 14 minus 8? 6. So this is 6x minus 36. So x wants to be alone. So we have to get rid of the 6 and the 36. 6 is like the best friend. 36 is like the neighbor. Who do we get rid of first? The neighbor, because he's kind of far away from the x. So if this is a negative 36, or I lose 36, what's the opposite of losing 36? I always do the opposite. Now where do I put the other 36? Well, this is on the left side, so I have to do it to the right side. So 36 minus 36 is 0, and I have 6x equals 36. Now I say, who's my best friend, 6 or 36? 6 is, because it's touching the x. So I have to get x alone, so I have to get rid of my best friend. So I divide by 6 to make it same over same. That's 1. So this is 1, so I go 1x. 6 divided by 6 is 6. But remember, we don't have to write the 1, so I can just erase it.